What's going on, everybody? Victor here with a brand new video, and I'm doing things a little bit differently today. Wasn't able to find a chair, so I'm going to be doing this video standing up, but I've got some exciting news for every single one of you guys, MMA fans worldwide. I'm talking about the UFC's first trip to France, specifically the largest city in the country, the capital, Paris, France. This is going to be the UFC's first trip to the country, first trip to the city, so they're making history domestically. I can't say they're going to be making history internationally, MMA wise, in sport of mixed martial arts. Bellator MMA beat them to the punch twice, not once, twice. They went there in 2020 during the height of the pandemic and went back there this year in 2022. But it doesn't matter because the UFC is going to be coming to France with a great matchup between two top tier heavyweights in the heavyweight division, which happens to be one of the premier weight classes in all of mixed martial arts right now because the plethora of talent that they possess. I'm talking about Tuivasa, who's 15-3 versus Ciryl Gane, the Frenchman, who is 10-1. This is Ciryl Gane's homecoming party. Ever since he joined the UFC a couple years ago, he's made it his goal to come back to France, to fight in the UFC card in his home country of France. He's not from Paris, but he's from the country, which matters the most. He's going to be headlining ahead in front of all of his countrymen, which is the most important thing. And he's going to be facing someone who's been streaking for a while now, Tuivasa, who's been knocking guys out left and right. And it's amazing because he was coming off 3 straight losses. It looked like he was going to be cut by the UFC, but he's come back and has reeled off a couple of wins ever since. And his most latest one was his knockout against Derrick Lewis in the second round in Derrick Lewis's hometown, his home city of Houston, Texas. And it was a great knockout. But the bad thing about Tuivasa was that he was getting start stuff for the majority of the first round. And if there's one thing to know about that, it's that Ciryl Gane had already faced and beaten Derrick Lewis to win the interim UFC heavyweight championship of the world prior to his fight against Derrick Lewis. And Ciryl Gane absolutely picked apart Derrick Lewis round per round per round before TKOing him in the second or third round. And it was just a masterclass performance by Ciryl Gane. And that's basically why Tuivasa should have a lot of trouble and a lot of fears when it comes to their fight, especially beforehand. But Tuivasa has been training in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, ever since those 3 consecutive losses to Sergey Spivak, Lugoy Ivanov, and Junior Dos Santos. And those are some quality losses to have right there because those are 3 very talented UFC heavyweights. Obviously, one of them's not in the company anymore. I'm talking about Junior Santos. He's with the UFC right now. But it doesn't matter. Tai Tuivasa has been a hot streak ever since. And now he's going to be facing someone in that person's own backyard, Ciryl Gane's home country. Everybody's going to be there rooting for Ciryl Gane. And everybody's out there is going to want him to win that fight. But Tuivasa, he just isn't... He isn't... How should I say this? He's not afraid of the big moments. He's not afraid to be in there and slugging heavy leather with the best in his own weight class. He already did that with Derrick Lewis in Derrick Lewis's hometown, so this isn't anything new to Tai Tuivasa. The only thing that I have a little bit of trouble with Tai Tuivasa is going to be his ground game. He's been submitted a couple of times in the past, and if Ciryl Gane gets Tai Tuivasa to the floor, which I don't think he's going to have a lot of trouble with, to be honest, it's going to be a bad rest of the night for Tai Tuivasa, so he's going to want to keep it on the feet no matter what. But Ciryl Gane, he comes from a heavy Muay Thai background, and Tuivasa comes from a boxing background, so I believe that if this fight stays on the feet, then both these men are definitely going to exchange in the pocket. They're definitely going to get close to each other. I don't think there's going to be that much space, but there's definitely going to be hesitancy on both sides. But it's not going to be the same as Derrick Lewis versus Francis Ngannou or Ciryl Gane versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I believe these two are definitely going to come after each other, and both these men want the finish because they both want a title shot. Tai Tuivasa is right there. I believe he needs one more win in the top 5, and if he does get this win against Ciryl Gane, then he's definitely going to be fighting for the title next. If Ciryl Gane gets this win against Tai Tuivasa, who's now in the top 5, he'll be able to get a title shot next. The only reason why the heavyweight division is on standstill right now is because Francis Ngannou is hurt, and it doesn't look like he's going to be fighting for the rest of the year. And John Jones is going to be making his way into the fray, and most likely be fighting the former UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Stipe Miocic, also considerably the best heavyweight that the UFC has ever had in its organization, which makes this fight so much more important because the winners of those two fights can be able to face each other and collide with one another. So Tai Tuivasa, his game plan is going to have to be to keep it on the feet no matter what. But if it does get to the ground, he's going to want to sprawl back up as fast as he possibly can. If he does get taken down against the cage, he's going to want to use the cage as a little bit of a support system to get back on to the feet. If I'm Gane, I'm definitely going to put as much pressure as possible on Tai Tuivasa, but definitely watch out for his power. Tai Tuivasa has it's pretty much a granite chin. It's made out of steel. We took some of Derek Lewis's best shot when they fought each other, and he barely went down. So Ciryl Gane is definitely going to have to muster up a lot of power, a lot of energy in his fists in order to take down and knock out Tai Tuivasa. But I believe that Gane's best road to victory is definitely going to be taking the fight to the ground and being able to submit Tai Tuivasa. Does have a great history on the ground itself. So this is an excellent matchup for the UFC to be debuting in France, in Paris for the first time in the history of the company. And that fight card is definitely going to be stacked because news is breaking that Robert Whittaker versus Marvin Vettori is going to serve as the co-main event, I believe, on that card. So you got a great co-main event, you got a great main event. You just had to stack out the rest of the card. I believe they're definitely going to do that. And this card is just going to add a lot of great things to come in the future, especially for the future of French mixed martial arts, and definitely be able to get more people in that country to do mixed martial arts and eventually gain enough skill, gain enough recognition to be able to join the UFC ranks in the future and be able to bolster up that roster and make it strong as it already is right now. But I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I know it's been a while since I've been able to make anything. This is like my third or fourth hiatus, but I just wanted to make a video on this topic, on this fight, because I believe it's a huge one and it's definitely going to be an amazing fight as well. Great fight for Paris, great fight for France, and if you guys ask me who's going to win this fight, I'm going to go with the Frenchman, Ciryl Gane. I think he has all the tools in his pockets in order to win this fight and get back into title contention as fast as possible. Like I said, appreciate you guys for watching this video. Appreciate you guys for being patient with me. You guys probably thought I want to make another video, but here it is right now. So take it easy, guys. Stay blessed and stay safe. Later.